What's up, guys? So before we get into tournament footage, what I want to do is go ahead and break down my day two practice. So I ran into some corruption issues on my SD card. Don't have the footage. We lost it. So I just want to give you guys an idea of how that day went so you understand the decisions that I made during the tournament and why I did what I did. So to start day two off, what I was trying to do is expand upon my pattern that I developed from day one. So essentially what that was finding rock piles on peat gravel type shorelines in about 15 to 35 foot of water. Typically, if I could find it on a point or a ridge coming out towards the creek or the river channel, that would typically hold some fish. So as I started doing that, within the first couple hours, I started getting bit. I was consistently catching, again, 2.5, 3 pound smallmouth. So I decided, you know what, this pattern's working. What I need to do is I need to develop a backup plan. So what I decided to do was head up into the James and go check that section of the lake out. Never been up there, so essentially I just took a boat ride. And while I was going north, I decided to take a Curve 55 and fire off into some chunk rock shores. So if I got up into a creek arm, that secondary point, if I could find chunk rock next to a creek channel, I was finding a good consistent smallmouth bite, 2 to 3 pounders. Again, 15 pound bag typically is what you're going to get with running something like that. So I felt pretty good about it. I figured if I do end up coming up this way, I could always fish my way back and try to catch some more fish. So I ended up going further and further and further north, running this pattern. And then I came into a section of the lake that was windblown. It was a creek arm, and on that primary point out towards the river channel, there was a good healthy school of fish. So I fire out there with my A-reg, boom, I caught a 5 pounder, and I thought to myself, that's awesome. So let's see what quality is within the school. So I fire out there again and catch a 3.9, and to me, I'm thinking if this quality of fish is within this entire school, there's potential for a 20 plus pound bag. The previous week, before the BFL, there was an Anglers in Action tournament, which 23 pounds is what won it. So I figured in my head during this BFL event, I'm going to need 20 plus pound bag if I want to win. So as practice wound down, I started running back and kind of getting ready for tournament day. But in my head, I'm wondering, what should I do here? Do I head out towards the Shell Knob area and try to scrap together a 13 to 16 pound bag with the fish that I had from day one? Or do I push up north into the James and try to put a 20 plus pound bag? I know there's the dilemma of, are you running to a location or are you going to run a pattern?
Anybody who are above number 33, 60, 90, 137, 140, 152, 183, 188, or 194, you have not signed your liability. Your kids will not count.
Oh my God. That's number 5.
You guys crushing them?
I've missed 5 bites already.
You missed them?
Yeah, I don't know what the hell's going on, man.
You guys catching any?
Not yet. Yesterday I didn't catch a keeper until noon, so I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's a timing or an area thing that I was going, so.
So this will be a bonus then, huh?
Well, good luck to you guys.
Yeah, likewise.
Yeah. You get on a bunch, shoot up a flare. Got one?
Got one? Got it? Huh?
You look bigger than that. Yeah, it's 15. Yeah, close enough. I throw him in there, maybe he'll relax.
He's right there. Let's keep him for now. See what happens.
Another one? Good one?
He's chucking it down. Oh shit. He's in short. He's good.
For fishing with us on a cold morning but a beautiful afternoon. Brock Allen, Whiteman Air Force Base, Missouri, fishing on the boater side. He's got one to weigh in, his first official FLW weigh-in. We're glad to have you, man. Thanks for coming across the scales with us. He's got one bass bag that goes 2 pounds and 3 ounces. And I've seen a lot of beautiful Phoenix boats this morning. I know yours was one of them. Rodney Childerson, Pocahontas, Illinois co-angler. Rodney's got a 3 bass bag for us today. 3 on the scales coming in at 6 pounds and 2 ounces. Like that sweatshirt too. Illini Team Trail. That goes way, way, way.
All right, guys. So I don't want to bore you too much with the footage from the rest of the day. What you missed was me getting spun out. By about 10 o'clock, we were fishing some of the stuff out around Shell Knob. And then in the back of my mind, I just kept thinking, I've got to go north and try to win this tournament. I left that area and I left that pattern with 2 fish in the boat, which was a mistake. The golden rule is you don't leave fish to go find fish. I essentially abandoned my pattern and I decided to go chase one single school of fish in hopes of catching enough to essentially, hopefully, win the tournament. Didn't pan out. They weren't there. They weren't biting. I just couldn't find them. I got up there about 10:30, gave myself about 4 hours, and I spent about 2 hours graphing, searching with baits, everything I could imagine and think of to try to find them. But I essentially couldn't locate those fish. Spun me out pretty good. In fact, my co-angler even told me at one point that I needed to slow down because essentially I was cranking, I was winding too fast with the A-rig, jerking too much with the jerk bait. As they say in poker, I was on tilt. So it was a good lesson learned, though. I feel that this was a good experience overall. A lot taken away from it. If I had to go back and do it, I would have stuck around that Shell Knob area and grinded it out. And you're going to see why right here.
We are with the Phoenix Boats Bass Fishing League, presented by TH Marine, Lake of the Ozarks, the Ozarks division, presented by TAG, champion on the boater side, Dustin Blevins, with a humongous bag of fish, 19 pounds and 5 ounces of bass to the tune of $7,000. People say it don't pay to fish the Bass Fishing League. We're going to prove them wrong today. You won $7,000 fishing with us today. How did you catch 19 pounds and 5 ounces of bass on a cold February morning?
I had a rig and a tube. I weighed 2 my blacks on an a rig, and I weighed 3 smallmouth, all on a tube.
Tube? Any particular type of tube? That's the first time I've heard that today.
Striking tube, coffee tube.
Is it a coffee tube? Now they make a flipping tube, and they make
This is coffee tube.
It's the coffee tube.
3.5 inch.
3.5 color.
Green pumpkin melon, I think. Pepper.
Green pumpkin melon.
Yeah.
We'll look that one up, buddy. Awesome. The coffee, Strike King coffee tube. And then on your A rig, any particular baits on it?
Kitex.
Kitex. Size, color.
3.3.
3.3.
Yep. And I think Sexy Shad's name.
Of course it is. Can't beat that color, especially this time of year.
Right.
Were you running points? Were you running wind? What were we doing?
Points. Windy gravel points.
How deep of water were you fishing?
25, 30 foot. And then the smallmouth were about 15 foot.
So you caught some key fish on the A rig, then followed up with the swim bait or the
tube.
The tube. The tube there. What part of the lake were you fishing?
Shell Knob area.
Shell Knob.
Yeah, up the lake.
Up
about
the lake.
15, 20
I don't mean
minutes.
to get too specific, but it's very good. It's good for a press release.
So as you can see, he was running that pattern out in the same area of the lake that I was. Congrats to him. He stuck to his game plan. I think where I made the mistake was I should have just stopped practicing when I had my confidence. I sought out a secondary game plan, which, it's always good to have, but at the same time, that led me astray. It made me run 20 miles to the west, 30 miles back up to the north, which put me 25 miles from the launch. I want to say it was 76 miles round trip that I ran that day. And so with running that much and scattering yourself out, I never settled into a location to really find that bite that I had built from my practice period. So I took a risk and it didn't pan out. I use a reference from a movie, in Signs, where the brother, he's got the record for the most home runs in his baseball league, but then he's also got the record for the most strikeouts. And that's what I did. I swung for the fence and I struck out. So the good news though is we've got another tournament coming up. The bad news is it's on Lake of the Ozarks. So Lake of the Ozarks right now is kicking my ass. I literally just went out for the 4th time on Lake of the Ozarks this winter and 0 bites. So I've got a lot of homework to do between now and not this weekend, but next weekend, March 14th. I'll be out there again for another couple days to try to practice, but I don't have the patience right now to fish the jerkbait as slow as everybody else is to get some of those bites. The water's pretty dingy, pretty cold still. I saw about 43, 45 degrees. So I'm hoping with this warming trend that we've got going on where the lows are kind of hitting into the high 30s, mid 40s, and we're seeing 50 to 60 plus days, I'm hoping that this is going to turn some of these fish on and they're going to start staging in some of their pre-spawn areas, because right now they're just in weird locations from what I'm hearing from guys, and frankly, I can't catch them out there. So we'll see what happens, but thanks for checking this out, and I'm going to have a video for every BFL event that we do this year to document my first FLW circuit that I'm going to be fishing. So stay tuned, check it out, and we'll catch up with you guys on the water next time. See ya!